So it's outside of the suburbs, just a little bit farther. It's about 2 hours from the center of Asuncion. Ita it is literally the promised land for missionaries. It was so much fun. It was pretty big. I would say it's about 10 or 20 square miles, just the actual city part. But then as you took buses to get a little farther away, there was just small little pueblos, or just small little groups of people that would live together, like families and whatnot. There was one asphalted road right in the middle. That was La Ruta, or the main highway that people would take the bus to get to Ita. And then the rest of the roads were empedral, or just that cobblestone rock. And then as you got further and further, it was just dusty trails. So a lot of the times my companion and I were just walking out in the middle of just an open field, just getting to where we knew that there was another pueblo or another group of people that lived just a couple miles away. The church there was growing exponentially. So in Asuncion, a typical ward would have probably around 80, 90 people that would show up on Sundays. Ita was, right when I was leaving, there was about 120, 130, and it was still a district. So it was just a branch, but it was growing hugely, and I think they had plans to make it an actual stake. But one of the key differences there is that the people they're farmers, obviously, just because they worked out in the fields. So it was really interesting, because you'd walk around and all the women would be at home, but the men wouldn't be at home until a little bit later. So something that kind of caught me off guard is that in Paraguay, as a missionary, you rarely take a dinner break. So the breakfast, you'll eat a good heavy breakfast just because you need energy for the rest of the day. You get to lunch, and you'll usually eat with a member. We would always try and plan like lunch appointments with members so that we could go and talk to their friends or see if they could invite someone over, which was awesome. But then after lunch, you might have a snack in the afternoon, but you're just at like 5 o'clock to about 9 o'clock is just prime time missionary teaching time. So you're just running around, just sprinting from appointment to appointment, just getting sweaty and hot, just classic good missionary fun. So we would try and do as many appointments as we could at the night, because we'd be able to get the whole family together, as apart from during the day where you might have the wife and maybe some of the children or an old grandpa or something. We'd always try and teach as a family, just because it works so much better that way. You can talk about the eternal family. Both the wife and the husband and all the children are there together. In Ita, it was very typical for the man to get home at around 5 o'clock. So we would just run to every appointment that we could and just try and teach as many families as we could. So